And I mean, you used to team chase, didn't you? Can you, for people who don't know what that is, just try and describe it, because it's pretty mad.
Well, it's sort of, it is. It's
sort of hunting meets point to pointing,
but,
kind of in a race environment.
Not a bad analogy. It's teams of 4, and one generally in the bigger classes. It's one team on the course at any one time across a set course cross country, and it's a great sport. And to be honest, it was only really what I enjoyed doing when I lost my licence from point to pointing, even though my weight was probably becoming a problem anyway. It was that release of adrenaline and being. I'm a very competitive person, and the training now provides me with that competitive sort of feel that I always craved. But when I lost my licence from pointing, the team chasing definitely took a big part for a little while, and had a lot of fun doing it.
Just something else stupid to do.
Yeah, well,
to risk your life.
Yeah,
there is some. If you go on,
you're a long time dead, they say, don't you? So you got to live your life and do what you want to do, and don't just be sensible the whole time.
I watched a great YouTube video of it was a team of 4 youngish ladies, who were probably in their 20s. And they had one of them had a camera on the, so you could actually see footage of sort of her tracking one. There's four in a team.
Yeah.
Do you get timed basically when the
third horse crosses the line?
Right. Yeah.
There didn't used to be an awful lot of rules, but there are a few now. A horse fall means you're out. I think I invented that rule because I tried to get a horse home after I'd fallen off it and didn't make it. And apart from that, it's literally the third horse across the line. But it done properly, it's really quite a decent sport and an art. Done badly, it can look pretty awful.
Did you ever do it in Kingsclear?
Yeah, I did.
Because Ian Baldwin, he was big into teams, and he used to go out and build the course himself. He loved it.
I've heard hunting stories of.
He used to do mental things.
But the Kingsclear course is a terrifying course.
It looks it, yeah.
Because it's not the size. There's a lot of timber. And you literally go up one side of his grass gallop, around the top, and back down the other. So all the way out, you're uphill. And so you get to the top on a horse that's pretty getting tired, and you literally freewheel back down everything downhill. It's not the most enjoyable course I've ever had to ride, although he was a genuine enthusiast and it's still going strong. But to ride it to try and win was pretty hairy.
Sounds like team chasing Plumpton, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
How many point winners do you ride?
14.
Wow.
So,
and the most enjoyable, would you say?
Of my point winners, probably my first, and Doversford, on a horse called Tom Putt, which my dad trained. And it was such a lazy horse. I mean, it was literally off the bridle for a mile and a half, and I was a bit fitter in those days and managed to keep pushing along. And I remember a friend of mine, Benny King, who used to ride for Nicky for a while.
Not the singer.
No, he married the eventing girl who's Kitty King. So he was a good fella, and I was offered another ride in the race, and I said I couldn't ride it, so Ben rode it. And I remember halfway down the back, having never ridden a winner, watching him going so much better than me, thinking I've got no chance here. It's going to kill me if he wins. And I managed to get up after the last to win. So that was obviously the first. And I was no superstar jockey. I was always probably a bit tall and a bit weak and a bit ungainly, but I loved it, and it was great competition and great times. And you know, actually at the time, a few friends in the weighing room, as it were, but since then, a lot of those guys have become great mates. At the time, we were all taking it far too seriously. I mean, I was horrific to live with, probably, for my parents, because, you know, I just, all I thought about, all I wanted to do was ride winners point to point. I used to take it so seriously, and my parents used to call me Kevin because I was always so grumpy. And, you know, and you look back now and you think, Christ, you know. But
I used to be mad.
Is there a little bit of that features in your training, that sort of competitiveness, that enthusiasm, that desire?
You don't train unless you're competitive. If you're training and you're not competitive, what's the point? I'm a very competitive person, and a lot of my friends would take the piss out of me for whatever sport I would play. You know, when I first started going out with my wife, she was up in London working, and it was in the summer, and I was up there, and she said, "Oh, do you fancy a game of tennis?" And I said, "Yeah, grand."
You thrashed her.
I was losing. I think 5-2 or something, and I just thought, oh, and all my, just started going out, this girl better take it nicely. I started absolutely walloping the serves down, and at the end she was like, "That wasn't very mid," and I was like, "I'm sorry, I just had to win."
And I wasn't very romantic.
No, it wasn't. But that's I'm afraid.
You've got to think of the long game.
Yeah, I didn't.
Or the mid-term game.
Yeah, but imagine losing your first set of tennis to your future wife, and you never live it down. So
you have to get used to it because you lose most other things.
Exactly.
And you were a big marathon runner, I hear, weren't you?
Oh golly gosh, did a couple. Did a couple. Mikey Wilson, who used to be involved with Racing UK back in the early days, he gloats about the fact that he always just beat me, but genuinely didn't really train, because when I was working for Nicky, the thought of going for a run at lunchtime was pretty grim.
So this is a London marathon?
Yeah.
You just went in with no training?
I think I did about 7 or 8 runs from my first marathon. Furthest was 11 miles. And I know, in fact, I ran that in 3:32.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
and then decided I hadn't got tired enough, and felt fresh enough at the end. So did it the next year and did less training and ran the first half in sub 1:30, and literally
fell apart.
I mean, I had to run about 5 miles backwards because I couldn't bend my legs, and did it in 3:40 odd or something like that.
Wow.
So,
more importantly,
impressive.
How did you manage to run past that many pubs without going in?
There's too much of a thing coming about this drinking.
By the way,
Tommy Simmons is the marathon runner.
Tommy's a really, I mean, he actually could be professional, couldn't he?
He used to just go run with his dog.
That would be my worst nightmare to do a marathon. But when Charlie Edgerton did a marathon, I thought, well, anybody can do it, surely.
Yeah. I think he must have done it in a golf buggy, did he?
I think so.
What did Tommy do?
Tom did it
2:38.
2:38.
2:38, and I mean, he would be self-admitted bloody slow over 100 metres, but he can run flat out for hours.
It's nearly professional.
I mean,
isn't it?
it is. Yeah. It is. He was. I mean, it was genuinely. People ask questions like, "Who did you train with?" And he just said, "My dog Aiden." He used to go running, mad. But he's a phenomenal runner.
That's impressive. Both impressive.